with the new Tech lever, it is a slightly different bleeding procedure. A lot of similarities to the other levers we've done, but just slightly different in the way we finish off. So what we'll do, we'll remove the 2 torque screws, bob them out, and to get the best throw on your lever, to get as much fluid moving as possible, if we move the bite point control out to its furthest position so the threads are showing, that allows us to push the piston as far as possible. Now if we remove the cap, same as our other brakes, they have a diaphragm inside, but the difference with this lever is it's a flip-flop lever. So if you turn it to the other side, it's exactly the same. When you take off the cap, there's a diaphragm. So it has 2 caps, 2 diaphragms. Then set the lever in a level position, attach your bleed pipe, your 8mm spanner, we're ready to bleed. This is where it differs slightly to the other models you might have bled before, so it's quite important that you do follow this. You get your new diaphragm. Always like to work with a new diaphragm. Your old ones can get a bit saggy, don't just seat nicely. So what we do, fill your master cylinder up. Doesn't need to be bang on full, but near to the edge. Put the diaphragm in, and your cap. Just sit that in there nicely. Get your 2 torque screws, fasten them down. We will be taking these off again, so don't think this is it. Sorry, there's a bit more to go yet, but screw them down. Just watch for a bit of excess fluid that might be falling about. Just get a bit of tissue, wipe it away. Now then, what we want to do, you might have to move your shifter, spin that around slightly. The hole in the master cylinder is in a different position than it's ever been before. What we're trying to do now, any air that's trapped into the master cylinder bore, we're trying to make it rise into the master cylinder. So by pumping the lever, this will make the air rise if there is any. Hopefully by bleeding it, we've got rid of it. But this is just a fine check, make sure we've got rid of it all. Pump the lever, leave it a couple of seconds, even push the pistons back in the caliper. Make sure you don't contact the piston itself. It's phenolic, it's very soft. Try and use the opposite pad to push the opposite piston back, vice versa. Pump that a few more times, lift the master cylinder back up so it's level, remove both your cap screws again, just fire them out. Get them out of the way. Take off your lid and your diaphragm. So what we have to do now, push the pistons in the caliper all the way back. Fill the master cylinder to the top with oil. Now this is where it does have to be full to the top. Then with your diaphragm, making sure your master cylinder's level, and you sit the diaphragm in at one end. This is very similar way we do to the others. You roll the diaphragm in. Therefore it fills the rib of the diaphragm with oil and there's no air in there. Fasten the cap back on, just sit it gently, just give it a gentle tap. If you go try prising it on, you might push the diaphragm out of the way and not actually seat it in the lip it should be in. Replace the 2 Torx bolts there. Tighten them down. Making sure, because there will be a small amount of spillage on there, just make sure you catch any fluid that might drip out in a tissue underneath. Nip them up. And that's it. You've successfully bled your new Tech lever. So you've bled the brake, we just need to finish setting it up now, which can be quite important, can change a few different the way the lever feels. So what we'll do, we'll position the lever where you actually want it. And don't forget, we've had the gear changer position change, so make sure you position that and tighten it back up. Tighten the lever exactly where you want it. Then first of all, pump the brake up. But then we're going to have to centralise the pads. Some pads the pistons might come out further than the others, so we need to centralise that, get that running free, and then we'll set the lever reach and the bite point control. As in our other video that we've previously done about centralising, it's really important to get the disc running in the centre of the caliper and pads. Now this caliper is already centrally aligned, but the pads need centralising, so by tweaking that across, pumping the lever at the same time, might have to work it back and forth, get them working equally. As I said, there is another video on the website to show you how to do this. On the tech lever we have two different adjusters. We've got the one on the right for the lever reach, and then we've got the one on the left for the bite point control. When it's screwed all the way out, that means you have most throw on the lever. By screwing it in, it's automatically moving the lever reach in, but we can reset that afterwards. Screw the bite point control all the way in, the shortest travel. If you're a smaller handed rider, you want the lever really close, move the lever reach out so it moves the lever in, screw it in and it moves the lever reach out. Perfect.